What's going on? It's your boy, Kalen Moss, the Minute Admin with Taylor Wilson, the Resourceful Vet. We're here live today with each other, and we're going to do some more veteran disability market research. And today, what we're actually going to do is we're going to do what's called a pricing calculator. Now, in this, I'm going to just change the title of this while we're talking in real time. And I'm going to share my screen here. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at what should we price the course for this veteran disability course that we're looking at. Now, the main thing here is that what you want to do is you want to have the right price for your course. Now, if you're in the chat, if you're watching this video while we're doing this, go ahead and leave a comment or whatever and give us feedback. All right. So from what we saw, Taylor, when we did our competitive analysis, our research punch list, our target market demand, we saw a certain price. Now, we did our differentiation statement, which was basically over here. So let me just pull this up. So I'm going to hide these, and I am going to hide that. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to pull up our 30-day content creator course foundations. So what we're going to do right now is I realized that I didn't have that one up. We're going to pull the Resourceful Vet version up here. So for the Resourceful Vet, we have basically this, what you're an expert at, certification, or that was for me. For you, it was we chose either higher VA disability rating or we chose voc rehab. So we got that. Now, we went through all this target market research and we broke down exactly who you're going to be basically creating this voc rehab course for. And then we did our research punch list, our competitive analysis of who else is out there creating a voc rehab course, and nobody is. So, okay, we went through our voc rehab, basically differentiation statement. So yours is we'll fill out all the paperwork to get approved for voc rehab benefits in 30 days versus 90 days. You don't need to research or figure out what to write. You don't need to figure out and have all this experience, and you can do it right the first time. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to go ahead and try to determine what the price should be for this course. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So, okay, target value. So basically, how much is the end result worth to somebody if they get this? I think we talked about that, right?
It was like $228,000.
Yeah, it was like
$228,344 down below.
Yeah. So, well, okay, so real quick. So the total, that's our target value, right? Mm-hmm. That's with all of this stuff added up, basically.
Yeah.
But as far as them just getting that result, just straight up, like if they didn't come to you, whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's $4,644 a month for voc rehab.
Let me turn this music down.
Okay. Times 48 months, right? So Taylor's turning the music down. I'm over at his house, and he's got some music playing. We had an ad pop up. So I'm going to go ahead and put 222,000. If that is correct, Taylor, let me know.
Yeah,
but
I think that's about right.
222,912. So 222,912. Okay. So, all right. Let's just say right now, at least for since this is you and my first time, really us together creating an online course for the first time, there's a probability that someone's going to finish this course. Now, historically, online courses have a 20 to 30% success rate, meaning the people, like let's say you have 100 people who go through your online course, really only between 20 to 30% of people are ever going to finish. So I'm going to put it at the low point. And let's just say 20% of people finish your online course. So we're going to put 20%. That gives you still a perceived expected value of $44,582. Because basically what that means is the perceived value is someone's going to look at your course and be like, dang, this is worth $222,000. Because basically they're going to get $4,600 a month for 4 years, right? Mm-hmm. And they're going to be thinking in their head, okay, if I take this course, how likely is it that I'm going to actually finish this course? Now, we already know just historically, since it already is a 20 to 30% success rate, likelihood of that person actually finishing and following all the way through is 20 to 30%. We're going to go on the low end and say it's going to be 20%. So somebody knows in their head, I want this, but I don't know if I'm going to finish this course. So they're going to be thinking 20% chance that they're going to finish the course. So it's just still a perceived value of $44,000. Like it's still worth $44K. All right. So we're going to stick with that. Remember, we're just making an educated guess here. Now, value of time savings. So every purple line is a new category of pricing, basically. So value of your quantifiable end result is this category is how much money is it worth to somebody if they actually achieve the end result. Like if somebody gets Voc Rehab, it's worth $222K.
Yeah.
Now, this other category, everybody is thinking, how much time is this going to save me? Time is people's most valuable asset.
That's right.
So somebody's going to be sitting there thinking to themselves, how much time is this going to take me to finish this guy's course? So we have to go back to their hourly rate. What did we say someone's hourly rate was? You said they were making about $25K a year.
Yeah.
And that means they're making $26 an hour. Let's just,
if they're lucky.
So let's still put that at a good $26 an hour, right?
Yeah.
26.32, 26.32. Okay. Now, if they were, how many hours would it take to them to get Voc Rehab on their own? You said it would take about what?
Let's just say 90 days.
So if we said 90 days and we said,
I mean, from start to finish, so when I applied back in, what was it? I think August or September.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying like how long it takes for you to get certified or qualified. I'm talking about how long does it take for you just to finish the paperwork? How many days? How many hours does it take? If you don't know what you're doing, this is you researching, trying to figure stuff out.
It took me about a week.
Okay. Of how many hours a day would you say?
I would say about 4 hours a day.
Okay. So 7 days times 4. So 28 hours.
Yeah.
I
would say 28 to 40 hours.
28. So let's just say it's
30
hours to complete this. 30 hours. So if they're making $26 an hour, 26.32 times 30 hours, that costs them $789. You're basically saving them $789 of their time.
Yeah.
Because if they're getting paid $26 an hour, that means they could work 30-hour work week basically.
Yeah.
And get paid $789. Now, number of clients that are affected, just one person at a time.
I mean, that client, if it affects him, it could affect his their family too.
Well, this is people who are taking the course. So however many people, like sometimes you might, let's say you have like a fitness course where you have 5 people in the course, and it's like 5 at a time.
This
right?
is 1 at a time.
Yeah. Like each person who purchases the course, it's like 5. There's one person at a time.
Right.
So the percent of time savings, I think we went through this one. What is the percent? What percent of the total time cost will your course save them? I think we talked about this over here, which was, so here's the thing. You said it took you a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think it would take somebody who doesn't have your skill level of like the VA benefits process, like understanding where all these forms are at? Like
Probably
someone who,
probably like 90 days.
okay.
90 days to 6 months. We're never getting approved.
Okay. So let's look at this. All right. We got to think about this calculation here. So they're making $26 an hour. If they were to do this on their own, you're telling me it would take them it would take them 30 hours. So you're saying either 30 hours or 90 days. You got to pick one.
It's going to take them 90 days.
How many hours a day are they going to devote to it?
But if they have this course, they could do it.
I'm saying without the course.
It's going to take them 90 days if they're very committed.
If they're very committed, but let's say I set 90 days up.
To fill out
how many days am I going to, to fill out all the paperwork, to get through the whole process, to be able to be ready for that, be ready for that interview.
Oh, to be ready for the first interview for Voc Rehab, that's just, I would say,
to do everything to get qualified, to get to the point where that person says, hey, you're qualified. How many days would it take for them to do that? If they have no idea how to do this on their own? 90 days?
If you had all the paperwork in front of you and you filled it out perfectly.
You don't have any paperwork in front of you. Like, let's say I'm a guy who just is fresh out of the Marines and I don't even know who you are. I've never heard about, I just now heard about Voc Rehab, and I was like, wait, what's Voc Rehab? Somebody told me about it, and I didn't have your course. I didn't have anybody telling me the way. How long would it take me to finally get my money? Like, I would say, I got to go and research what is Voc Rehab.
I would say
everything.
6 months.
Okay, so 6 months. How many hours a day am I going to be working? Like, let's say I just devoted my life to it and I said, for 6 months, I'm going to work.
Or how many hours of work would it get to get it done?
Yeah.
Like nonstop?
If I didn't know anything about, and I started from what is Voc Rehab?
Probably like,
how many hours?
I would say probably 100 hours.
So 90 days. So that's basically like what? 100 hours is like what?
4 or 5 days.
No, 90. So that's like an hour, a little bit over an hour a day. So 90 days divided by, or 100 divided by 90. So that's an hour and 10 minutes a day. So it's going to take me like an hour. If I'm doing an hour and 10 minutes a day for 90 days, then I'll finally get through the process. So 100 hours. So that's going to cost me. So if I'm devoted to this and I'm putting in an hour and 10 minutes every single day for 90 days, I'll finally get it all done. So that's going to cost me $2,000, $2,600 worth of my time to go through that process. So basically what you're saying is, hey, this is how many hours it's going to take you to do it by yourself. It's going to cost you, of your personal time, it's going to cost you 100 hours of your life to go through this process by yourself, which is at an hourly rate of $26 an hour. That's 2,000, or this number here. Now, how much time you could save them? How much time do you think, if they were to do your course, you were just telling me, here's exactly what you need to do. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. You're saying it would take them 30 days to go through all of it?
Mm-hmm.
So, and how many hours a day would you say?
I mean, if I was to send them a complete finished packet, it would take them
let's just say
an hour to get approved.
Let's just say right now, if you were to have a course to say, okay, hey guys, like, you're a Marine Corps veteran who has the GI Bill. I'm going to show you guys how to get Voc Rehab.
Mm-hmm.
Day by day, it's going to take you guys 30 days to get through the entire process. You need to devote X amount of hours per day to this process. How many hours per day would you say it would take? An hour a day?
Yeah.
So let's just say an hour a day. Let's just say an hour a day. Let's just say it's 1 hour a day. It's 30 hours. So 30 hours divided by 100, or 100 divided by 30, or what would we do that?
Can you do the calculator here to show the audience?
I'm trying to think of what is percent of time. What percent of the total time cost will your course save them? So basically, if it's going to take me 30, here, let's just go to ChatGPT. I don't even want to.
Yeah.
If a course, or if it takes someone 100 hours to get voc rehab on their own because they are learning everything on their own, but it takes them 30 hours to fill out to figure everything out with my course. What percent time savings is that? Can you give me the calculation? %70 time savings compared to learning everything on their own. The calculation is as follows. Calculate the time saved. 100 hours without the course. So it takes them 100 hours without the course minus 30 hours with the course. So that's 70 hours saved. Calculate the percentage. 70 hours saved divided by 100 is 70. So 70%. So we're going to put 70%. So we need to put a calculation in there. We need to put equals. We need to put something above here. So we need to put, that's interesting that they don't, in this course, they don't have a row above, which is number of hours to accomplish course QER with course 30, right? Because so the format needs to be just regular plain text. So if that's the case, then this number needs to be equal to this cell divided by this cell. Wait. That's interesting. I need to figure out, how do we get that number 70? Because if it takes you 70, so this equals.
Because 70 plus 30 is 100.
Oh, this equals 100 minus that times. So this will be 100. This equals 100 minus 30. And then that equals, so that equals 70, which is divided by 100. Yeah. So 100 minus 30 is 70. 70 divided by 100 is 0.7, which basically it's the calculation to get the percentage.
Sounds like VA math to me.
Yeah. So we have, you're basically B12 right here. So okay, so there it is. So the current cost is, it cost them $2,632 to do it on their own. For you, you're saving them 70% of that time. So you're saving them $1,800 of that time. So basically, just by them taking your course, they're saving, by the time you're saving them $1,800 worth of their time. Now, we're going to keep the numbers low just because we haven't made this course yet, and historically we don't have a super high success rate with a bunch of guys. So we're going to keep it low at 20%. So their perceived value is, hey, I know this guy, Taylor, can save me $1,800, but I'm giving him a 20% chance that he can save me that. So technically, in their mind, they're saying that's worth $368 to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so value. So we have two more categories. So we have two categories. One is a guy is going to be coming to you thinking, how much money can this guy make me? What's the likelihood he's going to make me that? I'm going to give him a 20% chance. That's $44K. How much time is this guy going to save me? It's going to cost me $2,600 of my time. He's going to save me 70% of that. So it's worth that. But I'm giving him a 20% chance he can do that. So it's $368. Value of discount savings. Are there any discounts? Like, can you give them any like affiliate links to anything? Can you give them, is there anything they can, like, for example, if somebody takes 30-day course creator, which is where we're getting this calculation from, somebody takes this, they give people a 30% discount on like Adobe Premiere or like Final Cut Pro. Is there anything like we probably don't have any software or anything we could give people a discount for right now?
I would say like right now it's discounted as it is. So until further notice, I would just leave it as, no discounts or anything. You're already getting that discount. So,
well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like for example, like let's say somebody takes my course, my marketing cloud course, and I'm like, I have a partnership with an app exchange company. Mm-hmm. And I say, hey guys, when you take my course and you get into my course, I'll give you guys a 20% discount on Deselect, this app exchange company, mm-hmm. because we're partnered together. Mm-hmm. Big shout out to Deselect, by the way. Those guys are awesome out there in Austin, Texas. If you guys end up watching this, hey, that is a great app exchange company to help you not have to use SQL and Marketing Cloud. So that's basically what we're talking about. If you had any partnerships where you could help save people money, like, hey, get my 10%, get my $10 off if you use my code. Like,
are you thinking about anybody I could partner with?
Yeah, I'm sure you could partner with somebody. Like you could probably partner with lawyers.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a law firms. Like I always see, these veteran people on YouTube that are always partnered with law firms and stuff. So
maybe that's something you could work on in the meantime. But right now, there's none of those partnerships are in place. So we'll keep that at 0. Okay, so is there anything you can do to make this course more enjoyable, more fun, easier? Like, do you have any celebrity status? Could you bring in a celebrity like Brian Reese or somebody like that? Like, is there Combat Craig? Is there anything you could do in this course to make your course more enjoyable or easier, like for people?
I think just making a boot camp checklist.
Okay, so how much would you say that that's worth?
I would say it's worth $250,000 because that's the checklist to get the process done.
I would say, yeah. I mean, yes, that is the checklist to get the process done. The thing is, like, let's say I was to say, like, hey, Taylor, you're taking my Marketing Cloud admin course to get the certification. I'm going to give you the step-by-step checklist. Like, if you got that Marketing Cloud admin cert, yes, you probably will make $10,000 to $20,000 extra dollars that year, but that checklist isn't worth $10,000 to $20,000. That checklist is probably worth like $500. Like it's very valuable, but it's not worth $20,000. The course is, but
I would say maybe $2,000 for the checklist, because if you don't got a step by step, then where do you start?
So what's the probability that a Marine is going to look at that and be like, oh, snap, that checklist is going to help me a lot?
I would say 99%.
Okay. So then that's going to be worth $1,900 to them. So, hey, we'll see. We'll test it. All right. So here we got it. All right. We got our 4 totals. Okay. So we went through this process. We got how much is it worth to a Marine if they take this course and they actually pass it? $222K, because that's $4,600 a month times 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're going to be looking at it and they're going to say to themselves, how much time is this going to save me versus me doing it on my own? And that's going to them, that's going to be worth $368 based on the calculation. You don't have any discounts for them. And then how much effort is it going to cost me? So basically you're saying, hey, we'll give you a checklist. We'll give you a step-by-step checklist. That's going to be, this checklist alone is worth $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're saying that it's a 99% probability that they're going to look at that and be like, that is valuable.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to make my life so much easier. Okay. So you're saying your target value. All right. So here's where we start getting into how much we're going to charge for this course. So the total value of this course is $226,754. This is the total value of your course if 100% of the value is achieved. If they get all that they can out of your course and they get $4,600 a month, which technically, if we look at this target value, if we go up to here, it's actually with, it's actually, we'll just keep it at that. We'll keep it at what it is for now. So we're saying, hey, it's worth that. But we're not going to charge people that, because that'd be like me giving you $1 so you could give me $1. I don't need to do that deal.
Yeah.
So, but the perceived value, this is the probability of what they think it's worth. They're looking at it as based on, there's a 20% chance I'm going to get this. There's a 20% chance I'm going to pass this course. There's a 20% chance that you're going to save me 70 hours of time. There's nothing here. Then there's a 99% chance that I'm going to perceive this as $2,000 worth of value. So overall, I'm seeing this course is worth $46,930, but we're not going to charge them that, because why would I give you $1 for you to give me $1? It's like me putting money in the slot machine and I put $1 and it gives me $1. I don't need to play that game. Now, here's where it gets fun. If I give you $1 and you give me $5 back, then I want to start playing the game more. But what about if I give you $1 and you give me $10 back? Then I want to really play the game.
You really want to be playing.
I'm going to be playing. If I know the slot machine is going to give me $10 every time I put $1 in, I'm going to be playing all night until I drop. But what if I put $1 and I made $100?
Man, it'd be game over.
That's what you want that's what you want these Marines to think. You want them to think, I'm giving this guy X amount of dollars. He's giving me 100 times that or 10 times that. Now, Russell Brunson always says you want to make sure the value is at least 10 times more than what you're charging. So like, for example, if I give you $1, I want to make sure I'm at least getting $10 back. That's what in person's mind, you want them to always think they're getting at least $10 worth of value back. So I personally say we should either charge $4,693 for this course or $469 for this course. Either way, either one of these is going to be worth stupid amounts to people, because guess what? They're going to make, if they pass it, they're going to make $222,000.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's going to pay for itself in its entirety.
So yeah, while they might pay $4,600 or $4,700 for the course, it doesn't really matter because their first paycheck is going to pay for that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Your first paycheck is that. So
exactly,
it makes that's the value to me. That's a good value.
Yeah. So all right, we have our pricing for what we want to charge for this at least. So I'm gonna say. I wouldn't say charge $9,000 because people are going to be like, hold on, like that's a little excessive. I don't know. Maybe if we could really prove that if we have more case studies, more testimonials, and like we prove that, hey, these guys are getting hundreds of thousands of dollars and we have more of that, then yeah, over time we can. But for right now, either we're going to go with $469 or $4,693. So we're going to stick with that for now. Now, the last thing we want to do is look at the most similar competitor, if there are any. So remember that guy we looked at?
Yeah.
Who is right here? Armo Press. So this guy, and then there's one other guy right here, or one other thing. But this isn't even really a course. These are some courses, but these are welcome to the VR Development Group's library of courses. After the Voc Rehab Development Group, we believe the great content should be affordable, relevant, and accessible. Each course in our library has been written for Voc Rehab professionals by Voc Rehab professionals. This content is intended to not only be interesting and engaging, but directly applicable to your work. Now, this looks like this is for Voc Rehab professionals, the guys that you'll be going and getting approved by.
Mm-hmm.
So, look, history of Voc Rehab, negotiation skills for employer engagement. Intro to Voc Rehab, Part 1, Basics. Let's see what this one says.
These are all like steps of the process. So each of these courses is a step.
Now,
so you could add all these up. Because this is like a mini course on one step within the process.
But here's my question. Is this for guys that are Marines, or is this for Voc Rehab professionals? You see what I'm saying? Like a person who belongs to a profession, who earns their living from this. So is this like the guy that you're doing your interview with, who's going to approve you?
Here, click out of that. Okay, it says, no, see right there. The content is intended not only to be interesting and engaging, but directly applicable to your work. Our courses are developed on Yes, LMS, the most accessible. So I don't know how clear they are here, because they say VR professionals, for VR professionals, by VR professionals, but am I a professional of that system going through that?
Exactly.
So I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't, because negotiation skills for employer engagement, I don't need, from the VRE counselor, I don't need to know that. That's the veteran that needs to know that.
Let's face it, most of us likely to not enter the field of Voc Rehab. See, this is the field of Voc Rehab. This is like an expert at Voc Rehab. This is like a counselor or something,
Yeah.
Right? The ability to sell Voc Rehab services and negotiate win-win outcomes is essential aspect of the VR counselor's job. So this isn't even geared towards Marines.
Yeah. I don't even know if this is Voc Rehab, because it just says VR. Virtual, it could be virtual readiness.
Or virtual reality.
Yeah. Because where does it actually say Voc Rehab?
Let's see. VR Development Group. Let's see what else they have. Looks like the number one online training resource for Voc Rehab professionals.
But does it say veterans? Because VR&E, Voc Rehab and Employment, that's for veterans. They got San Diego State on there.
We exist to help Voc Rehab professionals make a difference, transform the lives of people with disabilities, and build the future of tomorrow with the highest standard. They're not even for Marines, or like,
because this could be for like just civilians too. You know, this could be like a different. Like, are they talking about veterans at all in here?
No, this is
for vets.
This is for the counselors. The Center for Innovative Training in Voc Rehab partnered with the VDRG to offer 7 of their training modules to personnel in a training cohort comprised of 10 state VRE agencies. Yeah, this is not for veterans. This is for Voc Rehab counselors. All right, so this isn't even a competitor. This guy right here, though, my proven strategies can win your tough Voc Rehab claim for the career of your dreams. This course gives you the tactics I use to beat VA, going from a broke carpenter to an attorney. Access time-tested strategies that work. You don't need to worry about timing. This ebook is immediately downloadable right now. loaded with research hyperlinks to get you ready faster. Get sample templates used by others.
Let it rip.
The templates in the guide are proven by those who've gone before you. Watch our videos and webinars. If videos are your thing, I created a few to go along with the chapters to help explain the overview of each section. Let's see. Here's what you get. Proven strategies from a lawyer. Voc Rehab Survival Guide. 7 essentials to Voc Rehab success. 7 key appeal templates. Key tips on getting what you want. Strategies on writing to a VA counselor. Templates to get your VA file. Tips on types of... All right. Resources for veterans to career track. How to write a successful appeal. 30-day money back guarantee. Here's my thing. Look, I mean, not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying it's kind of vague to me.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say?
Yeah.
It's kind of vague. Like,
there's no pictures.
There's no pictures. How I went from a disabled carpenter to a lawyer and powerhouse advocate using Voc Rehab. How could I go? It took me 15 years. It's a lot of I. One thing you want to do on a sales page is never say I. People don't care about you. They're tuned into the WIIFM channel. You know what WIIFM means?
Mm-hmm.
What's in it for me?
How can you go
exactly? How can you go from a disabled veteran to $4,600 a month? That's all I care about. I ain't worried about how you went from being a carpenter to a lawyer. That ain't my story. I ain't worried about you. No disrespect to this guy. I sometimes say things a certain way because I want to get it so across that people do not care about other people. They care about themselves first.
If you read How to Win Friends and Influence People, they say the most referenced word, or maybe it's spin selling, but the number one most referenced word after dissecting like a phone center or call centers, they listen to thousands of hours and analyze the data. You know, the number one word the customer used on the phone?
It's either me or I.
It's I.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's so when you say you, we're talking to the eyes out there.
Exactly.
We're talking to you.
And then look, another thing is, where are the customer testimonials? I don't see any okay, testimonial. Here's one. Doesn't have a face. And there's just one. Testimonials. It says with an S, testimonials, but where's the multiple? I don't see. I just see one. Some final details. Facts, FAQs. Okay, that's fine, but where's the... I see one customer testimonial which says, which first of all is a long thing. I'm not reading that, to be honest with you. Thank you for putting together this information. I went into my Voc Rehab appointment prepared and confident. My counselor stated that the letter and supplemental information I provided was the most complete and comprehensive she had ever seen. I was granted an extension to complete my master's degree in biology. I don't know if I would have been approved I hadn't been prepared and ready for my first meeting with the counselor. Thank you again for the great information. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to look at our price point calculator, total target value, the total expected value of your competitor if 100% of the value is achieved. Now, here's the thing. We're going to still put $222,000 because if somebody goes in and gets this, then they achieve it.
Well, let's just say, how long does it take to get a master's in biology? Because from her example, well, I mean,
we're talking about Voc Rehab.
Yeah, we're talking about a lot of things. So,
well, specifically, we're talking about if you do this guy's ebook, he's saying he will help you get Voc Rehab.
He'll help you get.
Well, what he's saying is this. Help you win your tough Voc Rehab claim for the career of your dreams.
Yeah.
So that's his claim. So if that is the case, and he also will help you get $222,000.
Well, he's only helping you get one track of VRNE, which is the employment track.
Well, that's what we're going to start off with, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So probability of achieving target value. This is the amount of time it would take your client avatar to achieve your QER without your offer. So remember, Probability of achieving the target value. Probability of achieving this target value. This is the amount of time it would take your client avatar to achieve your QER without your offer. So let's just say it saves them. I'm not really sure what it's going to save them. It's probably going to save them what? I mean, 70%. Let's just say it saves them 70% also. Let's just say. Competitor's actual price, $19. This is the probability your ideal client avatar will perceive the value of the effort plus experience and benefits. I'll be honest. Hey, my guys at 30-Day Course Creator, this is me being as nice as possible. I love your course so far. I think you guys need to update your 30-day content course creator foundations thing, because this is not, for me, this just doesn't really make sense. You're saying probability of achieving target value, 70%, but then you're saying this is the amount of time it would take your client avatar to achieve your QER without your offer. Like, these are two different things. QER? Quantifiable end result, which is the end result, basically, the desired state. I'll be honest, I ain't even worried about this right now. Like, I know I might not be like thinking completely clear about it as if somebody was out here who makes courses, but hey, that's what we're going with. We're going to stick with 1/10 of the price, 1/100th of the price. We're either going to charge one of these two for this course. So we have a starting point for what we want to charge for this course. All right. So with that being said, we're going to call this good for today. Maybe about page on the site. Oh, Josh, you mentioned maybe there's an about page on the site. Oh, yeah. We went to that. Yes, good point, Josh. We went to that about page, and it didn't look like the nearest competitor had anything. When we went to it, it looks like they first of all, it's like,
go to both about pages just so in case he's referencing one or the other. Shout out to Joshua Mobley, by the way.
Yep.
Thank you for
big shout out to Joshua Mobley. Hey, what up, Josh?
Let's get those likes. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Like and subscribe.
So so articles, home. So this is his home, current stories, subscribe today, recent news. Doesn't look like he has an about page, testimonial. Okay. Was totally prepared, nailed it in the meeting, and got approved for the MSW. Thanks for helping vets. Your book saved me about $200,000 today. I just want to thank you for your work in the vet community. The fact that I'm entitled to this program is completely life-changing. All right, bro, we're just going to have to make this course like eons, like more valuable, which I believe we are going to do. Because here's the thing. If you have a course walking people through every single step versus an ebook, low key, I kind of think we should just buy this for $20 just to see what's in it.
Yep.
So, all right, that's it for today. We're going to be back, and we're going to talk about after this. So now that we've talked about the price point for this course, the next thing we're going to talk about is, do we have enough quantifiable data, which is the numbers? Do we have enough qualitative data, which is, do we believe in our minds that this is the best course based on some questions we're going to ask? So that's all we got for you in this video today. Great stuff today. Excited. We got moving forward again after the New Year's. Kalen Moss, Minute Admin.
Resourceful Vet, Taylor Wilson, out.